So Germany is a very interesting place. The culture is very different from what we know here. For example, here in America, we'll say, "How you doing?" But most of the time, we don't really mean it. Like we'll just walk by, "Hey, how you doing?" And we'll just reply, "Good, how you doing?" And it doesn't really mean anything to us. Well, in Germany, you ask, "How you doing?" To those very close friends and family and relatives. But when you ask it, you are saying, "How are you doing?" And you better expect a response because Germans don't leave anything out. You ask, "How are you doing?" and things are going bad for them, they will tell you every detail because you only ask that of friends and family, and so they trust you enough to where they know that they can tell you anything, and so they will tell you everything. And sometimes it surprised us. We would hear things that we didn't want to hear, or very personal things that we didn't expect to hear, and so that's very different about the culture. In Germany, like people drive cars, sure. The number one way of transport is public transportation. There are buses and trains and subways all over the place, and that's mainly how people get around. And what's actually really interesting about that is that the subway and the train companies go on strike a lot. There's a lot of problems with that, which made life really interesting as a missionary because you rely a lot on public transportation to get you where you need to go. And so we would have to find different ways to get around when the train station would be on strike and such. Those were really interesting times. I would make a joke sometimes about how Germany isn't a first world country, which obviously it is, but I would say that it wasn't because they don't really have air conditioning. Mainly it's just using fans in your apartment, and also they would have things called Rollladen, and it would be a metal grate that you would have on the outside of your windows, and so you would just open and close them at certain points of the day, and it would keep your apartment cool. But a lot of missionary apartments didn't have that luxury, and so we just kind of died. It was just a lot harder for us to stay cool during the summer and to stay warm during the winters. Something very interesting about the German people is that they're very loyal. They're also very rough, but you get past that roughness of the German people, and if you get them to trust them and they become your friends, they are your friends for life. And that's something very special about Germans, is how loyal they are. No matter what, they will stand by you. I know that we see that in movies and TV shows. They say friends till the end. Well, that's a reality in Germany. They will bend over backwards to help their friends, regardless of whether or not they believe in it. They will help you. I have personal experiences of non-members who would miss the beginning of soccer games, which is coveted in Germany. Like, they love Germany. They love soccer so much in Germany. And they would miss the kickoff of games to help us find an address or something. And it's just very incredible how helpful the German people are. So the usual here in America is that it's a lot easier, or somewhat easier, to find automatic cars here in America, and that's typically what's driven. You don't really learn how to drive stick. Stick is very popular, but automatic is just that much more popular. In Germany, it's the exact opposite by a long shot. It is so difficult to find an automatic car. Everyone is taught on stick shift and manual, and trying to rent an automatic is really expensive, and there's a lot less options, and so stick shift is the chosen driving choice. The streets are very narrow in Germany. For example, they don't really have shoulders like we have here in America. And so they'll just have cars parked half on the sidewalk, half on the street, and you just have to finagle your way through the streets and through the traffic and find your way through. Freeways are also very different. You know, you hear someone say Autobahn and you think, oh, you can go as fast as you want. Well, in reality, there's only specific sections of the freeway where you can go as fast as you want. Now, here in America, we know a little bit about how the left lane is for the fast people. You know, the further over into the left you get, the faster you go. But we don't really follow that rule. It's just kind of an unspoken rule. Well, in Germany, that is enforced. It is illegal to pass on the right, and if someone's coming up behind you in the far left lane, you have to get over, and you better, because they're coming up behind you at 200, 250 kilometers an hour. You better move over because they're coming up behind you quick, and then you'll get to the end of the limitless zone, then you have to slow down, and then everyone's moving at the same speed. What's actually interesting is during the limitless zones, the freeways will expand and you'll get another lane or maybe even two. And so you'll just vroom on by. It's really exhilarating to be on the Autobahn and be in those sections of the Autobahn where you can go as fast as you want.